Tom and I met at a party in college. He went to Wabash, I went to Butler.
I asked her to dance, and we spent the rest of the evening talking, and we just hit it off right away.
That was that. I think we knew pretty quick that we were going to be together.
Got engaged in the fall of '85 and then got married June of '86. And then had our first child, Jordan, in 1990. And then Nick came along in 1993. Maggie, in her late 40s and 50s, became a bit of a runner.
I got to running, every day. And I think my longest run was 11 miles. And really was in great shape and felt wonderful, and it was really empowering for me to be able to run like that. It was a beautiful day. It was July the 15th of 2017, and I felt like I should be enjoying this run, but I really just felt exhausted and had to stop and walk constantly.
She's out there, and she's gone for a little while, and my phone rings. And there's someone on the phone, but it's not her. And I said, "Where is she?" Because I knew that was not good. I come flying out of the house, I run up the street, EMT truck is there, and there are literally 20 people standing around. Maggie's on the ground, they're working on her. I'm losing my mind, not knowing what's gonna happen. By afternoon or evening of that day, they had at least gotten her stabilized and assessed that she had heart failure at that point.
They decided that they needed to put an ICD, an internal cardiac defibrillator, into my chest. The defibrillator helps to even out my heart rate and keep me from going into cardiac arrest. We just felt like we didn't know what was going to come next. It was day after day of what's going to happen, how long can we last this way? There were so many questions.
The plan was, we're going to try to do all we can to strengthen the heart. And that started in March of 2018 and did that for 6 months or so. And finally, the end of September, we're seeing no improvement. And that's when she said, I know you probably don't want to hear this, but I think transplant is the best option.
And that was very difficult for both my husband and myself and our kids. We wanted to do it, but it was very scary to even think about. We just said, yeah, we've got to do this because it's our only option. Had just come home from a couple days in the hospital where I needed 24-hour infusion to kind of keep me going for as long as possible. And that following morning I'm home and I'm blow drying my hair, and all of a sudden I feel like I'm just gonna collapse again. And then pop, the ICD in my chest went off and shocked my heart back into a normal rhythm. And that was really scary. And it felt like lightning was coming out of my teeth when the shock went off. It was just really powerful. I was pretty stable, so they sent me home for a couple of days, and I got to sleep in my own bed 3 nights in a row, and the next day I got a call from my cardiologist saying, "We have a heart for you."
I was driving home, and I remember being at a stoplight and just kind of breaking down because you're just scared to death. You think about what's possible in a good way, but what's possible in a bad way.
We had a big cry, and it was really unbelievable to know that it was happening, but it was also really, really scary. Right before I went into the ER, my daughter and her husband arrive, and I get to see them, but I didn't get to see my son and his girlfriend before we went in, which made it hard because I couldn't say see you later or goodbye, or we didn't know what was going to happen.
About 4:00 a.m., doctor comes down and says we're finished. Everything went well. It's good heart. It's like, oh, we made it. You know, we weren't sure we were going to make it, but we did.
There were two things that I needed to live for. And one was to dance with my son at his wedding and to see grandchildren. And I've done both of those things. I have a wonderful life with my husband, and whatever pain and difficulty that we had to go through, it was worth it.